The Imocas are in their element and foiling at high speed towards Martinique. Will Harris is on deck of Malizia Seaexplorer, checking out a few things to make sure everything is well on board, and shows us the incredible conditions the trade winds are offering them: flat water and consistent wind. Martinique, here they come.
Beautiful day out here in the trade winds. We're heading full speed west. Just on deck, checking out a few things, making sure everything's all good. But it's beautiful sailing here in the trade winds, nice flat water. You can see the foil's working super nicely. And yeah, we're trying to catch up with the others in front. So good to be out here and in the warm. 5 days to go, and then we'll be in Martinique. Cheers!
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, November 17th, 2023. This is the latest Transat Jacques Vabre daily report we have to hand at the time of editing this video, November 15th.
In a setting worthy of the most beautiful postcards, with the famous Diamond Rock in the distance, Maxi Edmond de Rothschild crossed the finish line. The Charles Caudrelier Air One Israel duo taking third place on the podium. How does this race taste? It was my first Transat Jacques Vabre, so for me it had a special flavour. I wanted to finish it. It's true we had a few little glitches, but we put a lot of energy into completing. And the podium was really important to me. It's better third than fourth, so yeah, we're happy. But it was a bit of a tough race. It was very frustrating for me at times. I have a hard time when the boat isn't at 100%, so yeah, elements were annoying, but that's part of the ups and downs of ocean racing. A few seconds later, Sodebo and Actual reached the pontoons of a Marina de Fort-de-France, closing the ultime race. Day 10. We've had a good night's sleep. Now it's time to get cracking. At sea, the Ocean 50 continue on their way to Martinique, where they are due to arrive late tomorrow. In the Imocas class, the Southerners have the advantage. The four-people duo is back in the lead. 8th in the 5 PM rankings, Maxime Sorel and Christopher Pratt find themselves having to perform acrobatics on their foils to free their sails. The Jeddah hook broke. The sails in the water. And it's a real mess. On the Class 40 side, the duo of Ambrosio Baccaria and Nicholas Andreu are once again at the helm.
New York Yacht Club American Magic flew into the weekend with a short Saturday session that was more about debugging, recommissioning and testing the bewildering array of new systems onboard Patriot, the team's workhorse, full-scale test platform. Sailor Paul Goodison stated that the team's focus was on the 75 and would only think of Jeddah as they got on the plane to fly there.
So Paul Goodison, you were helming on port on the American AC-75 today. It looked like a frustrating day for the team. Technical problems with the boat because the breeze was in probably better than we thought.
Yeah, we had a much better breeze out there when it was forecast. We were expecting very little, so we had a heap of stuff to do and tick off that was just as much as non-sailing related it was sailing related. But when the breeze is in, we're all sailors and we're desperate to go sailing. So at times it was a little frustrating that we weren't making the most of the breeze, but on the flip side of that, I think we made really great use of the time from a system side and an electronic side today.
So it was mainly just ticking off stuff on the boat that when you planned to do when you went out, or were there issues with the boat?
A bit of both. We had a long list of stuff to tick off without actually foiling and being in displacement to a bunch of tests to get done while we're up and running, and we ticked off a bunch of the stuff when we're up and running, mainly to do with the system side, from the cyclist to some of the setup, but we had a couple of stoppages for things breaking and a few incidents downstairs.
for a boat that wasn't designed for Barcelona conditions. In the swell yesterday, uncomfortable at times, but looked pretty good most of the time. And today she looked very comfortable in this kind of light chop that we had.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very different from spending so much time here in the 40s and sailing around in those waves. I guess the last sailing day we would have really struggled in the 40s, and we take Patriot out, which is not quite the same geometry as a race boat's going to be, and we were managing fine. So plenty of learning to be had.
How different is the boat internally? I know you can't change an awful lot, but have you modified the boat downstairs?
The boat is very different downstairs. You see with the new rules and a lot of the changes allowed within the new rules. We're obviously experimenting with that and trying to figure out how best to exploit some of the rule changes.
Are you trying stuff out now that will go virtually straight onto the new boat?
Yeah, a lot of the plan is this is our test platform, and as much as we can get done here, it means that when boat 3 arrives and the next race boat, we're in a position where hopefully we get straight into sailing it and racing it around the course rather than commissioning like we're doing a little bit at the moment.
You mentioned a lot of learning about Barcelona in the 40s. How much of that from a helming point of view have you been able to transfer into sailing this boat?
The 75's a very different boat. The basics are very similar, but this boat is very different from sailing around in the little 40s. So both are equally as much fun, but they're two very different challenges.
Now, you've been sailing the AC75, and that looks like it will be the focus certainly for the rest of this year. But when do you turn your attention to Jeddah as a team? When do you start to focus in on that?
I think really the focus is on the 75 right through till Christmas. Jeddah, I think as soon as we get on the plane, we'll probably start tuning into Jeddah. It's quite low on the priority list for us as a team at the moment. The main focus is the 75 and trying to make I guess we're taking a bit of pain now to get a lot of less pain later when it comes to the launch of boat 3.
Just a final question, just say a few words about the Cyclors. They're back in action with you again. Can't use them on the 40, but now the 75's here. Just say a little bit about them. Oh,
it's fantastic to have our cycling squad back with us. We've got a couple of guys here that are trialling also. So some new faces that got out on the boat for the first time and had their first experience of foiling, but they're obviously going to be one of the key parts to the campaign. You get the systems right and the cycling, and you get enough power to move things when you need to, you're going to be in a much better spot. So it's fantastic for the team, and it's also great to have the guys back with us.
As the 32-race round of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series comes to an end, and we move on to the 16-race finals, we saw the top 8 teams qualify for the next round. After 16 races sailed in this first round, there was no shortage of heart-pounding moments. From 600-meter comebacks, to protests, to failed mark roundings, ripped sails, and even a man overboard situation, this last round had everyone on the edge of their seats. Each round will see half of the team's progress, until we are left with one winner being crowned the nation's world champion.
As the 32nd of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series comes to an end, each round will see half of the teams move on until we are left with one winner being crowned the nation's world champion. After 16 races sailed in this first round, there was plethora of heart-pounding moments, from 600-meter comebacks to protests to failed mark roundings, ripped sails, and even a man overboard situation. This last round had everyone on the edge of their seat. In Fleet 1, we saw a clear dominance of Team Tahiti, winning every single one of their races, making no mistakes and giving a true sailing lesson to all other teams. Slovenia followed close in the point standings, allowing both of these teams to move on to the 16th of the finals. In Fleet 2, Portugal and Estonia were the ones qualifying themselves to the next round. Before the last race, Chile and Portugal were tied with 10 points until Estonia beat both of them, pushing Chile off the podium. However, Chile's 12 points meant that she was one of the two best scoring third place teams, giving her the magical lucky loser ticket and filling in to the 16th of the finals for one of the two teams that won't be here. In Fleet 3, Antigua and Barbuda, Ukraine and Malaysia were tied with 8 points each coming into race number 4 of the Golden Day. Bermuda, at this point, was last in the fleet, only 2 points behind. In the fourth race, Malaysia managed to take the lead before crumbling under the pressure at the leeward gate and making an awful mark rounding. However, they found the energy to come back and won the race, allowing them to move on to the 16th of the finals. Bermuda finished second and tied in points with Antigua and Barbuda. Bermuda passes to the next round, and Antigua and Barbuda got relegated from first to third. However, their 12 points meant that they are also one of the lucky losers and pass on to the next round. Ukraine's lower shroud broke, and that was the end of their hopes to go on. In Fleet 4, we saw a very tight pack from start to finish. It was 45 minutes of an all-out naval battle until Lithuania managed to pass the finishing line first, followed by the Republic of South Africa. They both qualified to the next round, whilst Czech Republic and Oman are going home. Coming up next, it's the 16th of the finals, where we will see our 10 teams from the first round battling against the 6 new teams: Austria, Finland, Hungary, Croatia, Canada, and Japan. So, see you on Thursday at 10:30 local time for the beginning of the 16th of the finals of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series, the Football World Cup in Sailing.
On day 4 of the Transat Jacques Vabre race on board Malizia Seaexplorer, Boris and Will deployed a scientific instrument called a drifter buoy off the coast of Portugal at 37 degrees north. The device will live for around 700 days and autonomously sends data on atmospheric pressure, sea temperature, and ocean currents to scientists on land. This data is crucial for the World Meteorological Organization and for climate scientists to better understand the future of the weather and the role the ocean plays in climate change.
Hi Will, what's going on here?
So we're about to deploy this drifter buoy here. We've been asked to put it in at 37 north. 4 years ago we did exactly the same thing, and so it's really nice to be able to contribute in this way to collecting scientific data while we do the racing. It's a beautiful evening for it. We've finally found some nice stable conditions. And I'm going to head out the back now and just put this over the side, and it will start collecting data as soon as it reaches the water. So let's go.
Cool, let's do it.
Alright.
Safety first, huh?
Oh yeah.
We have done this before in 2019, and we got some comments about the dressing then.
Yeah, so we're about to deploy this drifter buoy here. We've been asked to put it in at 37 north. 4 years ago we did exactly the same thing, and so it's really nice to be able to contribute in this way to collecting scientific data while we do the racing. It's a beautiful evening for it. We've finally found some nice stable conditions. And I'm going to head out the back now and just put this over the side, and it will start collecting data as soon as it reaches the water. So let's go.
Cool, let's do it. Who remembers that can win a special prize.
We are sailing only media. Please subscribe, share, like, and check the alerts bell. More drama ensued on the penultimate day of the 2023 Fly ANA Yokosuka Miura Windsurf World Cup, as 2 more eliminations were completed for the men's and women's fleets in winds ranging from anywhere between 8 to 28 knots, with the stronger wind being in the morning like normal before slowly dropping.
And we're about to go racing. Yukino round in first. Johan So, aka the Beast. Oh, and Jazanas has gone. Oh no! No! Johan So, all eyes will be on the young 20-year-old Danish rider. Could he get his first ever world title in 2023 in the men's fleet? I'm pretty sure he's won youth worlds before, that's for sure. But we're talking men here. I think the last time we seen it, it's like probably over 3 decades ago. It's got to be either Robbie Nash or Bjorn Dunkerbeck. You know, something in that era was the last time we saw someone who's 20 years old winning the slalom world title. So it ain't easy. Nerves could come into it. Will we see the machine break? We're about to find out, but it's a great start from Benedetti on the right-hand side on the Challenger. A good start from Amado Vrieswijk in the middle. Also Cedric Board, but there's a few guys who are really off the pace on the start. Not quite sure what happened there. Nico Preen is one of them. Becker is also another one with a bad start. Little wobble from Board. We've got Scotty Storman in the mix here. Oh, Benedetti, Board's looking very good again. A great jibe from Johan So. Good jibe from Scotty Storman. Keeps himself in the mix. Mortafon, quite far back now. It looks to me like it's going to be one of these top 4 riders. But Amado Vrieswijk, you can only think a mistake would be something that would cost him, because he's got the speed, he's got the distance from the rest of the pack. Amado Vrieswijk, though, will jibe in first place. Second place, Johan So, then Benedetti on the inside, then Cedric Board. Amado Vrieswijk with 2 jibe marks to go, sitting in first place. Looking very comfortable. He won in Sil, obviously, the last competition, and he's looking very good here. Benedetti in second, and Johan So has made his move up into third place. Oh, that world title is getting ever so close right now. I thought he might break today. He really hasn't been the one that's broken. He's going for second here. He's made his move. Johan So has made his move, and that could be even closer to a world title. He has got an Italian next to him, and Amado Vrieswijk has gone down. Amado Vrieswijk has gone down. Johan So has let Benedetti go through. Cedric Board has gone down. Johan So is not even caring. I think he's like, you know what? I'll settle for second here. I think he's they're plugging him in every night. What is going on here? Benedetti's pumping. I tell you what, this is going to be very, very close. It looks like Benedetti gets the win. Yeah, he crashes over the line. Johan So gets second and a step closer to the world title. Amado Vrieswijk is back up in third. Scotty Storman in fourth, then Board in fifth. Wow, what happened to Amado Vrieswijk there? Board is having a bit of a moment. Oh my God, they're all having moments. Wow. Denmark will be starting to celebrate right now. Winners women's final about to kick off. Only 6 riders going to be in this. Can Marion Mortafon get a win? Can Lena Erzin get another win? She's on the start again. Could this be the fourth bullet? Justine Lemaitre needs the win here. Needs the win. So she's on low-key foil. You can see that. Lena Erzin. Then we've got Justine Lemaitre, Marion Mortafon, Saki, and Anayama on Nishi. That's how it's looking at the moment. Obviously missing two big names, Blanca Alabau and Opperdow, over the line early. Lena Erzin is running away from it. She's got it wrong. Oh, she's opened the door here. She's opened the door. She's still leading, but there is signs that it could happen. Justine Lemaitre smells blood now. She's going to push her super hard. Needs to keep the pressure on. Justine's got a better line into this jibe. We could see a change at the end of this, but Lena Erzin's been jibing really well. She's used to doing spocks and all sorts of freestyle maneuvers, so I'm sure a foil jibe for her is relatively straightforward, but with the gusts and the chop, it can all change. Justine Lemaitre needs to push. Needs to push, needs to put the pressure on her. One jibe mark to go. Just needs to keep it together for that fourth straight bullet. It looks very controlled into this jibe. What a jibe. Look at the acceleration. She's gone. But Lena Erzin is going to get a fourth straight win on the PWA. She's unlucky not to get the fifth, because in the second elimination, she was leading and fell off on the last jibe mark. I mean, she's been in very, very good form. Really cool head. Has a look around. I don't think I'll be looking around on the foil, but just needs to keep it together for a bit longer. She's already celebrating a fourth straight win. She's leading this competition here in Japan. Good race from Justine Lemaitre, but she really needed a win. Marion Mortafon in third. Saki in fourth place. Fifth is going to be a Nishi. And then sixth will be Anna Yama from Japan. So there we go, epic racing today, and now we are firmly set for tomorrow, the last day of competition. A small chance of a thermal wind in the morning. Join us on the live stream where we will decide the world titles and the event winners.
It's 1 year until the start of the 2024 Vendée Globe Solo, unassisted, round-the-world race. 40 Imocas 60 yacht will start from France to circle the globe in what has been termed the Everest of the seas.
When I was 17 years old, I saw something in a magazine that changed my life forever. It was an article about a single-handed round-the-world sailing race. And I just thought, that's got to be the toughest thing a person can do, being alone for months on end, pushing themselves to that extent. And at that moment I just decided that was what I wanted to do. It took me a long time to get there, but finally in 2020 I crossed the start line of the Vendée Globe race, and it was everything that I dreamed it should and it could be. 3 years later, the time has almost come to get back out on the water and race again. When I close my eyes, I'm there.